welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. All that and more coming up next.
Well, this 2024 season has been one to remember. Great games, great players, great finishes. And now, it all comes down to this. One game to decide it all. On this February night at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, this is Super Bowl 59. Coming up, a battle here in the NFL playoffs. It's the two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and the champions of the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles. A champion set to be crowned tonight. It's Super Bowl 59. And off we go to a flash of lights here in New Orleans. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. So out comes the Kansas City offense to take over for the first time. And there is the guy at the top of the game, Patrick Mahomes, their quarterback.
As much as you try to tell yourself, Mike, that this is just another game, the reality is it just isn't. It doesn't matter if it's your first Super Bowl or your 10th. This is the game you've dreamt about playing in from the first time you put on pads all the way back in Pop Warner. You're bound to get emotional in some capacity, but you have to get that out of the way and get ready to do everything in your power to turn those childhood dreams of hosting the Lombardi into a reality. As long as this guy does his part, they're going to have a fighting chance to come out on top. He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Xavier Worthy there, and it'll be 3rd down.
This one is really close, Mike. He makes the catch, but I don't think he's able to establish that possession with both feet in bounds. Could have been a really nice pickup, but instead, it's going to result in an incompletion.
Here's a screen set up for P-Rod. Good-looking screen play there, a gain of 11 and a 1st down.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
So, from the 36, it is 1st and 10. To the air once more, it's Mahomes. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. And he's close to a 1st down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. Second and a yard. Off the play fake, here's Mahomes. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds. The key to this play, Mike, was defensively their ability to stretch this ball and make him go laterally. Anytime you could force the ball carrier to go sideways on 3rd and short, it gives your defenders time to rally, make the tackle for no gain, brings up 4th down.
On 4th down, it's Matt Araiza to punt for KC. Back deep for Philly, it's Cooper DeJean. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. So the Philadelphia offense set to take over for the first time. And leading them out, their quarterback. It's Jalen Hurts.
He admitted to us the other day, Mike, that he's started to feel a little anxious as game day approached, and I think that's normal. Winning the NFC, that's one thing. But this is the type of stage that can take your legacy to a whole nother level if you're able to come out on top. But in order to make that happen, he's going to have to put those nerves behind him as soon as possible. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in an early hole because you just couldn't settle down. If he's able to remain calm, play his game, his team's going to have a great chance to end this night as world champs.
Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll stay on the ground with Barkley. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. They'll try to run here with Barkley. So on 4th down, they'll call on Braden Mann to punt. This one fielded out beyond the 25. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. He finds DeAndre Hopkins for the catch.
As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
Mahomes looking to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins was the intended target for that one. And 3rd down coming up.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mahomes. This one brought in by Brown. And he's going to pick up the 1st down. He knew where that marker was and made sure he got beyond it.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch. Even though it doesn't result in a sack, when you dial up the right pressure at the right time, Mike, sometimes that's all it takes to lead to that incompletion. The timing is just a little off between the quarterback and his intended target, and the ball falls incomplete.
Now Mahomes gives it to Pacheco. And good hard running will get him down close to a 1st down. Might be a yard short.
It's tough to completely celebrate, Mike, when you don't pick up the 1st down, but that's a run you will take every single time. I mean, good yardage in a lot of situations, it'll get you the 1st down, just not here.
Mahomes now on 3rd and 2. He'll get this one complete to Brown. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Offensively, landing a lot of body blows on this drive, Mike. Just the ability to steadily march the ball downfield and remain so efficient, both run and pass. As they continue to wear this defense out, they have to find a way to end this drive with points. Anything short of that would be a bit of a letdown.
They'll run it here. It's Samaje Perine. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
They put Kelce in motion. Mahomes now on 2nd down. Got a man over the middle. It's Worthy. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Really nice play there by Xavier Worthy. And if I'm a defensive coordinator around the league, and I'm thinking to myself, Mike, how do I stop this Chiefs offense? How do I stop Mahomes and Kelce? Well, they just add a wide receiver that has the fastest 40-yard dash time in the history of the NFL Combine. I mean, the ability to take the top off, the ability to make those secondary players play that much deeper and open up everything else underneath. When he gets up and running and he really finds his groove in this league, this scary offense just got a little bit scarier.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. They're going to run out of the gun with Pacheco. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming, and he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
On 3rd down, Mahomes. That's complete. He got it to Hopkins. And he's going to have the first down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up first downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there with that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up.
On 1st down, it's Mahomes. Short pass taken in by Kelce. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
On 2nd down, Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That last sack is exactly why defensive coaches preach over and over. Just play the next down. Just continue to make them snap the ball again. You're one big defensive play from changing everything about this drive. And what once looked like a promising drive, following that sack, looks a little bit different now.
Mahomes going to throw here on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
Doesn't get much better than that. Had he gotten there just a little bit earlier, he probably draws the flag a little late, and it's probably a touchdown.
Butker's kick is good. And the Chiefs are out to an early 3-0 lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Isaiah Rodgers now to return it. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. That's complete to his big tight end, Dallas Goedert. So after one here in Super Bowl 59, it's the Chiefs on top. More from New Orleans after this. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Really nice job there by the defense defending the middle of the field. That is the most valuable real estate on the field. They know every single offense is trying to attack the defense between the hashes, so give credit. They took away all the throwing lanes, and that ball falls incomplete.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
Now a fair catch, and he'll take it at about the 24-yard line. So here comes the KC offense set to take over once more. They'll look to build on their 3-0 lead as this drive starts with a 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by Pacheco. And he's going to struggle to get back to the line, maybe a yard. Jalen Carter out of Georgia makes the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Pacheco. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. They put Kelsey in motion. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. They put Kelsey in motion. Mahomes now to throw on 2nd down. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. Play action here. Mahomes. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with a lead despite a bit of an up-and-down performance out of their quarterback.
And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. The Eagles offense ready for this next possession. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Barkley to start the drive. And he is crushed in the backfield. Defenders firing through. Shut it down right away for a loss of yardage.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. That one good for 26 yards.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. Taking a shot downfield for Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line.
Defensively, you put so much effort about defending the middle of the field. You know that's the valuable real estate every offense is looking to attack. But what does that do, Mike? It makes you a little susceptible to the throws outside the numbers, and it leads to a chunk play.
First and 10. Man in motion is Smith. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. He was looking for A.J. Brown that time, and now it's going to be 3rd down.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page. Well, we have an early decision here, Mike. How aggressive does this coach want to be on this 4th down try? I think you got to keep your offense out there. You have a prime opportunity to take the fight to them, extend this drive, and hopefully be able to come away with points.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. They'll try it now with Barkley. And he's going to have an Eagles 1st down. They managed to convert. That'll keep the drive alive.
This play should always end up converting a 4th down, especially at this distance. But you can't tell me there weren't some nerves on that sideline as they sent that play in to snap it. But fortunately, nothing to worry about. The offense gets it done.
Once again, it's Barkley. And he's able to sidestep his way forward and pick up 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. A pistol snap back to Hurts. He keeps it himself. He is in. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Here's Jake Elliott for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Eagles move out to a 7-3 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. This returnable from the 4. Now an opening past the 30. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense ready to get back at it. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. They put Kelsey in motion. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. There's a throw right side. It's going to be incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
He'll try and get there on the ground. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a 1st down.
Having a quarterback with this ability to run is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on 3rd down. Starts out as a pass, nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner, picks up the 1st down.
And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up 2nd down. Now some movement up front. Flags down. Mistake-filled 1st half continues. They put Kelsey in motion. To throw is Mahomes. The left side into the hands of Hopkins. Now a 3rd and 2. They put Kelsey in motion. 3rd and short. Here's Patrick. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And he's out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line. A big one there on third down, good for 26 yards.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
First down throw, Mahomes. Firing right side, brought in by Brown. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. Throwing again, it's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. And this drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up first and goal for his team.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain.
That one, taken in. Hollywood Brown. Touchdown, Chiefs. The teamwork was just ideal there. Greg, we don't see practice all week, but we see it pay off in the game.
And when you have a wide receiver, Mike, that can operate near the sideline, it just increases the amount of space that quarterback has to work with. He knows that he can put that ball maybe a little bit further away from the defender, knowing he's got the guy on the other end to not.
And I believe the referee was buzzed by the replay officials, indicating let's get a closer look at this. They trigger this automatically in the last 2 minutes of the half. So, ruled a touchdown originally. They didn't find any reason to overturn it, and it stays on the board. Harrison Butker now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Chiefs are on top. It's now 10-7. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return is Rodgers. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here comes the Philly offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Hurts. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a got.
The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They run out of the gun with Barkley. Now KC going to use the second of their timeouts, and they'll stop it just over a minute remaining in this first half. Here's Braden Mann now. As the drive went in the wrong direction, he's on to punt it away. Fair catch will be taken here. It is right at the 40-yard line. The Chiefs offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, but that is incomplete.
Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire, so the defense finally gets a stop, and really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
They put Kelsey in motion. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Travis Kelsey, the intended target. And it's going to be 4th down.
The most important stat, Mike, to determine wins and losses in the NFL is clearly turnover differential, your ability to protect the ball and on defense, take the ball away. And for any offense, that's even more critical when you have the ball on your side of the field.
But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Eagles offense going to take over just before the half. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. Putting the tight end in motion. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. He'll have a yard or two up to about the 16. So we have reached halftime of Super Bowl 59 here in New Orleans. And for the final time this year, we send it to Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. And what a season this has been, and it is nearing a conclusion. You guys enjoy the show out there. We'll get it back out to you, too, in just a moment. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. Likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. Two quarters left in the NFL season as we decide a champion. Back underway here at the Super Bowl. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Saquon Barkley and this Eagle offense set to take over again. And really, he has not produced a whole lot of highlights as we in this one. Instead, no running lanes, no room to operate, stuck at the line of scrimmage, and generally taking this offense out of its flow. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Here's Hurts. That's to the outside. He's got Smith. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
On first and 10, it's Barkley. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Remember this one thing, Mike. It is not how well or how often you run the ball in the NFL. It's when do you run the ball well in the NFL. And I think that's what a lot of these offensive play callers are starting to realize. Can you run the ball well in critical moments of the game? More important than how many gross yards you run for.
And this time they are ready for him. He'll be thrown for a loss. No big gain that carry. It's second down.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
On second down, Barkley. And he'll pick his way forward, a gain of about 5. And that's going to set up third down. Now Hurts. Good decision to take off. He gets 15 yards and a first down.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
So they move inside the 20, first and 10 at the 18. Now Hurts. Quick throw here is complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
We all make such a big deal, Mike, when we see a quarterback go through his progression and deliver a deep downfield strike for a touchdown. But sometimes just take what's easy, the easy pitch and catch, get an underneath completion. That's exactly what the quarterback does here, takes what the defense gives them, and when you have a playmaker like that on the outside, they can do the rest with their feet after the catch, and the end result is still a touchdown.
On is Elliott to add the extra point. It's up and through. And the Eagles are on top. It's 14-10. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. This one taken at the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Chiefs offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They'll do so with first and 10. On the ground to start the drive with Pacheco. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. Second down and 8. Throwing is Mahomes. To the outside, catch made by Worthy. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the first down.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Here's Pacheco. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play.
All week long, they stress, Mike, that we have to get as many defenders to this ball carrier as possible. They know he's going to make some guys miss. He's going to be hard to get on the ground, but you can see the effect of rallying to the ball as it had here. They're able to take him down, and they're able to do it for a loss.
And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
Just another example of poor decision-making. I mean, making a bad play even worse. There's nothing there on second down. Just throw the ball into the stands and move on to third. Now you take that sack, and it's going to take a miracle to stay on the field.
Work to do following the sack. It is third and long. Mahomes. To the left side. It's caught by Brown. Pretty good effort on that one. It will not be enough. It's going to bring up fourth down.
I think this is one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a fourth down decision to make.
And that is no good. He missed it. And they are not able to draw closer.
And this is the danger of trying these long field goals. Remember, Mike, if you miss, the other team gets the ball at the spot of the kick. So it's going to end up setting them up for great field position as they start this next drive.
They'll start on the ground with Barkley. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's second and 6. A handoff, running left, it's Barkley. And he'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. On second down, Hurts. That one knocked away and incomplete. Justin Reed that time with the tight coverage and the good hands.
I think at some point for this quarterback, he has to start looking some other directions. I mean, he's tried to get the ball now to this guy multiple times, and all of them have resulted in incomplete passes. I'm not saying don't throw it to him in the future, but maybe get yourself a couple easy completions elsewhere before you look back in his direction.
And that is incomplete. Devontae Smith, the intended receiver, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down, Mike. Living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Now, fair catch is made, and it's just inside the 15-yard line. The Chiefs offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll begin inside their own 15-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is Mahomes. For the sideline, he's got Hopkins.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They'll run it straight ahead with Pacheco. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 30.
Well, after not having much success in the first half, they're able to get something going on the ground here to start the third quarter. I'd love to see the play caller mix in some play action, mix in some pass game. That should open up some of these holes for better situations to run the ball.
They'll stay on the ground and stay with Pacheco. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's 2nd down.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
A run, it's P-Run. And a good piece of running there. He'll get about 9 yards past the 35-yard line.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
They put Kelsey in motion. Mahomes now on 3rd and 2. Oh, what a throw. Slinging it across his body and complete.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
Couple of first downs already on this drive, and they'll go first down from the 43. Right back to Kelsey again. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Now Mahomes gives it to Pacheco. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a first down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
1 quarter remains here in Super Bowl 59. EA Sports back for the 4th from SoFi after this. Here's 1st and 10. Now Mahomes. And the rush too strong. They're in there in a flash for the sack.
This is a great example of the game within the game. They're making what they call Mike declaration, and that's what sets the responsibilities of all the protectors. And in this case, the Mike was the one who came, and he's unblocked, and he's able to get home.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. They put Kelsey in motion. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. That's over the middle and intercepted. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at their 46.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
The Eagles offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Hurts gonna hold on to this one. Not much happening there, just a short gain.
Nice job by the defense. They had that one well read from the beginning, Mike. Someone's responsible for the running back, but the key here was the defender responsible for the quarterback. Stays with him, keeps him to a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 9. A run with Barkley. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Hurts. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
Oh, not the greatest punt there. This is going to hit and go out of bounds. So now this team's offense headed back to take over once more. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10. They'll send a tight end in motion. Now the former rushing champ, it's Kareem Hunt. Not much. 2nd and long coming up. A run up the middle with Pacheco. And he'll move it out of harm's way. A gain of 3 up to the 4-yard line. Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. Once again, it's Pacheco. On comes the Chiefs punter. He'll be forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. This team's offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll have a short field, looking to build on the lead. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Barkley. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Well, this has been the story of the entire game, Mike, is just how well this defense has played, particularly against the run. There has been nowhere to operate for this offense, and it continued here on this last play.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap now to Hurts. That's caught. Saquon Barkley. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out. Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
2nd and a yard. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. This one is caught by Dotson. 11 yards on the pass there. 1st down, Philadelphia.
It's pretty evident, Mike, when a quarterback and his wide receiver are operating on the exact same page. The anticipation, the timing, the accuracy of both the route and the ball. And when they're working together like this, that's the definition of teach tape.
And a nice tackle in the open field limits the gain to only 1. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Hurts. Looking right side. He's got a receiver. It's Smith. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the 4th quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So really nice job here late. We're going to see if they can put this one out of reach.
Trying to create some space, but will not find much. He'll get a yard. They'll mark it at the 3. The ball a little closer now. It is 2nd and goal. So got it. The tight end comes in motion. Hurts going to keep it on the option. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Jalen Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles. That his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
The extra point by Elliott is good. And the Eagles are out to a 21-10 lead. So following the score, here comes Elliott to kick this one away. Now return coming from the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick. The left side into the hands of Hopkins. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They put Kelsey in motion. Here's Patrick. He'll throw it on 1st down. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. To throw is Mahomes. He'll get that complete to Isaiah Pacheco. Smith-Schuster, the man in motion. On 2nd down, Mahomes. And that one incomplete. Travis Kelsey, the intended target. 3rd down coming up.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the 4th quarter, with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
They put Kelsey in motion. 3rd and long for Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Travis Kelsey, the intended target. And it's going to lead to 4th down.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
And that is incomplete. The defense very happy to see that play call. The decision to go for it on 4th and long will end up in a turnover on downs. Three tight ends in the game to start the drive. And nothing cooking on that one. He'll be met and tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
At this stage in the 4th quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
Second and 11. Running from the pistol with Barkley. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards, and that leads to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
On 4th down, it's Jake Elliott time for the Eagles. Good snap. Good hold. Good kick. And the Eagles are going to open up a 2-touchdown lead, 24-10.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
And back to work goes Elliott after making the field goal. He'll send this one away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. And that's where the offense will take over. This is 1st and 10. Gray is the motion man here. A 1st down throw for Mahomes.
The drag route. We used to say this is day 1 install. Every single offense in the NFL has this sort of route, especially for the tight end position. And depending on the speed and the run after catch ability of the tight end, sometimes it can lead to some of the biggest gains.
Here comes 2nd down. Man in motion is Brown. Mahomes looking to throw on 2nd down. That's over the middle and caught by Kelsey. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45. One timeout at their disposal, but the more pressing need, they have to score twice. It's 1st and 10. They put Kelsey in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Mahomes. A short one caught by Kelsey. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Mahomes now to throw again. Throw over the middle, brought in by Hopkins. The Chiefs will use their 3rd and final timeout here. The clock will stop with 35 seconds to go. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Right back to the air for Mahomes. That is caught down the field. It's worthy. And this is going to be a touchdown. Hold everything. They are not done yet.
Well, that was step 1. The offense did their job, get this thing back within 1 possession, so they're still alive. But now they've got to find a way to get a little bit of luck and find a way to get the ball back. And It's not going to be easy.
This becomes a big spot here for the Chiefs. They will indeed go for 2. To the air once more, it's Mahomes. That's pulled in, and they're able to tack on the 2-point conversion.
Mike, I think all of us can remember exactly where we were during a certain Super Bowl where throwing the ball this close to the goal line ended up being a disaster. But unlike that time, they ran this pass play to perfection, and the result, 2 points.
They need a late recovery to have any chance. Here comes the onside kick. The kickoff unit is out there, and they'll send this one away.
That was their last shot. They've got no timeouts left. Now the offense can just simply come take the field. Best play in football, Mike. Victory formation, take a couple knees, get on with the win.
Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. And the Eagles have done it. They are your Super Bowl champions. Wow, you talk about a compelling Super Bowl. That's as good as we could ask for, Greg. A struggle, tight till the end, but ultimately, one team had a little bit more. And they are now the champions.
And as in the case in so many Super Bowls, Mike, your entire franchise, and for a lot of these players, their legacies are altered by a play here, a play there. This could have been a totally different outcome, but let's give credit to the champs. They made the plays when they needed, and that's NFL ball, and I'll tell you what, they're going to enjoy this celebration.